Hello friends, I'm here at the Queen's Park Savannah in Port of Spain, Trinidad. I'm telling my boys who I'm with, let's go. I'm walking in front of them, so they aren't in the camera. Look at those white lines on the ground. You know what that's for? That's because the roots of the tree is breaking up the sidewalk, and so if somebody's walking or running, they could stumble over that. Now, I have been walking on the Queen's Park Savannah since I was a teenager. I used to regularly run around it. Usually I run twice, then do my other exercise routine. I was big into exercise in my day. Now I'm going around it because the pandemic has killed my midsection. It has slowed me down. I used to run 5 miles every other day. Now I'm lucky if I run 1 mile in months. So I have started back walking, and I'm kind of a fast walk right now. My boys are accustomed walking around the savannah, but today we tried to walk around fast. Now I'm wearing the camera on my chest, which is a bit different to other times where I hold the camera or I put it on the extension rod or other things. So in my videos I like to give you all different angles so you see what I see and experience what I experience. That's the idea of JV's Man Cave, so you get a raw look and feel. So this is what it would feel like if you were walking around the savannah. And of course you're seeing my hand because, like I said, the camera is mounted to my chest. Now in my good days I could run around the savannah in maybe less than 16 minutes or so, I'm not sure. And walking around should be about twice that if you're walking fast. And if you're walking slow, probably around 45 minutes. You've seen from my other walk around the savannah videos that casual walking is around 45 minutes, somewhere around there. However, the savannah is a go at your pace thing. It's not anybody clocking you or anything like that. And it's of course free to the public. One of the few areas you can simply come and enjoy. Nobody hassling you. The only parts that you cannot go really is to the center of the savannah with your vehicle or anything like that. But once you're walking, you know, you're cool to go anywhere you like. There's also a sand track in the middle of the savannah. They used to do horse racing in the savannah, and there's a large sand track there where they used to train the horses. I probably need to do a video of that as well. Some more experienced runners like the sand track because it's more of a challenge, but then again you get sand in your shoe. So it all depends on what you want. As you can see, the day is rather hazy. You might think this is a rainy day, but it's not. If you look at the ground, it's more or less dry, and a little sprinkle here and there. But what's causing all that haze is the Saharan dust that I've talked about in my other videos. You need to look out for that. I'm heading south right now on the savannah. Where I started out was by Queen's Royal College. As far as safety goes, a lot of you from abroad write me about safety and ask me where to go, where not to go, and so forth. And you know, I don't like giving specifics about where is safe, where is not safe, because I might say, you know, go here, it's safe, and then you get robbed, and then you say, oh, JB Man Cave told me I should have gone here, and look, I got robbed. So I don't want to tell you here and here is safe. The point is, anywhere can be a hazard. Of course, there are places, obvious places. I'm not going to name any places, but there are obvious places that you should stay away from. And you should go with somebody who is already familiar with the area and can guide you properly. You know, a friend, a family member, not a stranger, because they can also lead you down the wrong path. So with somebody you know to any place. However, with the savannah, it's generally safe, but like anything else, I wouldn't be going here late at night. to walk around. I also find that the east side of the savannah is a little more precarious than the west side. So all these things you can take in consideration as you walk. You know, do things in the daytime. As the sun goes down and night falls, things are a bit easier for those who have bad intentions. On the right is the US Embassy, the Anglican Church right after. Of course, the savannah continues on the left. And the reason you keep seeing my hands is because I'm walking at a fast pace. And you're not seeing my right hand is because I have a bag, a tactical bag that I used to keep my equipment and stuff. And that I'm using that hand to hold it back. And oh, that guy just had a fall. But I'm going to blur his face because while that may be funny for you all, or some of you all, I really don't find that really particularly funny. He could have fallen and hurt himself, but that's just my mindset. Some people will laugh at that, others won't. I don't like to embarrass anybody. That's not what JB's man cave is about. So I blew his face for that. It could happen, anybody could trip. I've experienced that before, and as I showed you earlier in the video, the roots of those trees and cracks and water breaking up the asphalt can cause people to trip and fall. So it's kind of a hazard. In fact, I don't ever remember anybody coming to pave around the Queen's Park Savannah, this walk path. They do patchwork here and there, like you could see that little patch there, but I don't see them, you know, making a full pave. And I think it's due for that, because for me personally, in my opinion, this walk path should be much higher than the grass. It shouldn't be at the same level. That's what's causing it to get waterlogged. It should be in such a way that the water can run off easily. In fact, there are some parts of here, when it rains really bad, you literally cannot pass because it's flooded with water. Now, while the Queen's Park Savannah is more or less maintained, you could see there are some areas that could do with some more maintenance. You know, maintenance should be more forthcoming. As I've said in my other videos, you know, when you keep an area upscale, looking well, eye candy, you know, the people want to do the right thing. They want to feel good. It cheers up your spirit and so forth. So I think, you know, and it's a lot of employment too for people. You have people specifically employed, you know, just maintain this rather than sets up different workers or whatever. You know, people can have constant employment, and once there's accountability to make sure that it's done, everything should go good. People get work, things look nice, tourists are happy, people are happy, and so forth. On the left is the grandstand, and this little green box, I don't know if it's really used anymore. It used to be a place for taxi drivers to come and hang out. Sometimes I see it open on a job, I don't see they actually use it, or at least I don't see taxi drivers staying there. When I was younger, building any kind of structure on the savannah was unheard of. But as time passes, I find they tend to build more and more structures. You always see something going up. Kind of take away from the appeal of the savannah, in my opinion. The buildings around the savannah are pretty nice. This video will not show you those buildings really. It's because this is a different video. If you want videos of me panning around looking at the buildings while I'm walking around the savannah, I have videos for that. Sometimes new visitors will come to JB's man cave and just, you know, immediately start complaining, and I can always tell that they really don't know nothing about my channel, because They will start saying you should have done this, you should have done that. I wanted to see the building, it's going too fast. You know, people, new people, please go on my YouTube channel, go in a search, or just simply ask, you know, do you have a video where you show any buildings around Savannah? I'll give you the link to the video. You know, or have a look around, you'll be able to find it. Every video about JB's Man Cave is supposed to be unique and different. I might show you the same area, but the same area in a different way. So for instance, I might have 5 videos about the Queen's Park Savannah, but one video is like this one, for instance, just walking with the camera on my chest pointing to the path. Another video will be more or less showing the buildings. Another video will be just focusing on a point. Another video might be just focusing on the nature. You see, there's so many aspects to a place when you go to visit it, and you can't capture that all in one video. So sometimes you have to make return visits to show you different aspects of it, so that you get the full comprehension, or the full view, or understand fully what entails visiting a certain place, because you can't see that with just one video focusing on a few things. And the Queen's Park Savannah, after all, is very big. It would take several visits to really take in all of it, and as you pass by, there's so many. For instance, this tree, this cannonball tree I'm passing on the left, I made a whole video on that. For instance, if we stopped right now and looked at it and took time, you'd see squirrels on the trees, you would see the actual fruit, you'd see the flowers, the peas. But of course, that's if you're into that type of thing, because not everybody is into the aspect of nature. I get people coming on my channel, telling me I should be focusing on the woman and how they look, or things like that. And you know, to me, that's just silly, or sorry to say, but a bit immature. You know, this channel is, I would say, is for a more mature minded audience, one that wants to look at things as they are, nature, people around them, and so forth. I'm not here to cover vice, body shame, make fun of people. Some of you have asked for that type of thing, and I just don't understand that. You know, this is about positivity, family friendly. Yes, I do cover social issues, but it's not with political aim. It's with a betterment. Everything is about with a betterment. So we continue and walking here on the Queen's Park Savannah. Now this is a great place too if you want to bring us a group of people and have a what we call here a lime, which is just hanging out. You see that place, those little tents and stuff on the left? That used to be an actual entrance into the savannah. Excuse me. All this talking is choking me up. There used to be an actual entrance to the savannah. It still is in a way, but now they've blocked it off. Put those tents and people come there and sell food. Now, when I was younger, at different points around the savannah, just like you have those coconut carts, like for instance like that coconut cart on the right there, you can actually stop and buy things like boiled corn, roasted corn, pylori, which is a flour fried. Usually they put a mango sauce on it or whatever. Anyway, basically you could buy snack foods at different points going all around the savannah. And at some point the government just didn't like that. They didn't like the fact that a lot of people started to crowd the savannah, and they decided to move everybody to the left there to sell there. And the irony is, instead of the people opening up those same little snack food treats, they have decided to instead cook whole meals. So really most of these things they are about cooking, you know, a lot of food in containers and stuff for people. But I miss those days where you could just go on any part of the savannah you like, choose the person that you like to buy from, and you could buy, you know, your pylori, your boiled corn, or whatever it is, and you sit down and you talk with your friends and stuff. I understand the reasons for moving it, but you know, sometimes the good old days are the good old days. The new ways of doing things just won't replace it. And unfortunately, the younger people would not know about those good old days, and would not know how to appreciate outdoor stuff because a lot of it is just simply taken away. How many of you remember those days when you could go around the savannah and, sit down, simple lorry, a pie, talk or whatever? Of course, you can see there's a trash problem. I didn't mention it before. Some of you don't like for me to talk about trash, but how can I not if it's always in my face and always around? People just don't pick up after themselves. There are enough garbage bins around the savannah that if you just hold it for a couple minutes, you'll meet one and you could dump it there. But people just trash wherever, and I just don't get it. I'm heading back north now around the savannah. Still going at a pretty fast pace. My boys are able to keep up. One of my boys is very physical. He can pretty much keep up with me. Other one less agile, and so at some point we would kind of break, and you will know when that is at that point. Now here's this schoolboy in front of me. It's kind of lingy, and as I was getting closer to him, because as you can see, he's doing a casual walk, but as I'm getting closer to him, because once somebody's walking in front of me, that kind of gets into the whole shot. So I always try to pass them as quick as possible. But when he saw me passing him, I don't know what fired in his mind, but he felt, wow, this is good competition. And I don't know why he thought it was a race, because he's on his way to school, and going at the pace I'm going in at right now, you're going to really break out in a sweat, no matter how fit you are. And you can see how I'm catching up to him, and I'm going to pass him, and then he decides, you know what, hey, let me pick up the pace a little bit. And at some point I told him, hey, you're in the front of my camera, and I was just making hand signals, but he didn't. He thought, hey, time to race. So I passed him there, and I'm continuing. You'll see where he tries to catch up with me. I guess I was good entertainment for him. So if you ever come back to Trinidad, yes, you can feel safe and secure walking around the savannah, and you could bring some friends. It's a good place to walk and talk. But if you do, please don't take up the whole path. Make a line that nobody can get around you. Sometimes you're always looking at the people coming in front of you, but sometimes there are runners and behind you that are coming up, and you always have to be aware of that. So try to stay to one side, and be aware of your surroundings. Because for me personally, when I used to run, and I'm gonna get back into running soon, and so you'll see more videos to the point where I can get back running and start running around the savannah. It's really hard when you're running and you're coming upon a group of people and they just won't move. You have to end up going on the road and the grass all over, and it's really tough because that can cause an accident. You can also walk in the grass too, but the problem is it would really need to be dry. I mean, you would have to have a few days of sun to make sure that ground is dry, otherwise you'll just get a set of mud around you. So you see the schoolboy there, he has finally caught up. He's put on the speed, turned on the turbo, looking back, checking to make sure he's well ahead. Excuse me. And he has powered on, but then again he's in my shot, so now I have to power on and get even Twist him and make a signal to him. Hey, gonna work fast, don't stay right in front of me, blocking my shot. I'm telling him that. He acknowledges, yeah. Okay, cool. Hey, so you see those little big plastic bottle things? It's a new thing they introduced for people to put their plastic bottles in. I don't know how effective they are because to me I still see plastic bottles all over. And you notice those were three garbage bins we passed. One was a regular, one was the plastic bottles, and another was a fancy stainless steel one. I don't know, probably like we need to have them at every 10 feet in order for people to make sure they don't dump stuff all over. See, and even though you have that, there's that big object there. The hair looks relatively clean, maybe it works. The more you have them, the more clean it is. That area on the right there, that's taking you to the Lady Young Road, which takes you to the east, and St. Anne's Cascade area. See, that's my school friend there. He just said, you know what? Who cares about you? I'm putting on some speed to show you I can pass you anytime I want. Good on him. He's gonna turn right, so he wanted to finish that, but I'm sure he's really sweating because he is really going speedy there. He looks like a good kid. Alright, so one of the nice things to do around the savannah is to actually take a look at the nature, the flowers, the trees. A lot of flowering trees around the savannah, but especially the birds always singing. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but it's really beautiful to hear these birds singing. You get a lot of parrots too. They often fly in pairs, and while they're flying they make this screeching sound. It can be irritating. It's nice to hear nature. That's them there, you can hear them in the background. If you have good speakers. I'm sure how some people will hear this on their phone. Going back to crime, because you know a lot of you like to email me privately, and truly I don't mind answering an initial email, but sometimes if I'm I would rather you keep your questions and your stuff to the channel under the videos that you're talking about, especially because you see sometimes I'm a father of special needs children. Time is really constrained for me. Most of these activities and videos that you see, I'm actually with my children. So it's not like I'm going specifically to record this. It's mostly I am happen to be the area. I have my children with me, and we are recording at the same time. So it's kind of like I'm multitasking. But when you comment, and you comment publicly on the channel, what happens is other people are able to also pitch in and help answer. I am not the guru of all things. I kind of stopped here because one of my sons was like, okay, you guys are going too fast, you need to slow down, I need to catch my breath. So we said, okay, we will start going a bit slower. So that's why we stopped there. Yeah, so if you comment publicly, other people can pitch in and give their response, because sometimes I will say something and I'm not correct, and others will come and correct me, and that's great because I like to learn too. Sometimes there are people who know way more about an area than me, or I might even say something wrong and they correct whatever I said wrong or add to it if there needed to be more explanation. So all these things help build this community and keep the intelligence flow going, because it's really not just about me. This is JB's man cave and all those who visit it. So when you write privately, uh, it kind of constrains me to now focus on you individually and take time to write and all that time really that I don't have as a father, special needs children. My time is with them all the time. I do homeschool, I have to work and all that stuff. So if you keep it public is great. Now I know some of you have private issues, you don't want to make it public and so forth. Remember that the internet's anonymous. You can always write stuff anonymously, and if I can't answer all your detailed questions, now you understand why. But with regards to crime, like I said, I do have videos that specifically outline different kinds of crime in Trinidad and what to do to prevent yourself from being a victim or a target. It's not foolproof, it's not bulletproof. I'm not coming from the order of or mind of a policeman, but I'm just giving tips that should work in general for anybody. So you may feel, well, answer me this or answer me that, but a lot of the times I have a video for that. And if I don't have a video for that, when I do get a chance, I do create a video for it. In fact, a lot of these videos are kind of like a backlog, in that I have so many videos that I need to put up, and when I get rid of these videos, when I say get rid of, edit, publish and stuff, then I could go on to other things. I do have an aim to get into more social issues. I do have a lot of social based videos on my channel, but I need to grow it, and I want to do that soon. I'm trying to also phase out my lower resolution videos. I have content that I need to put up, and as soon as I do, I can concentrate on my other videos, my 360 and so forth. On the right there, that's the Botanical Gardens, the Royal Botanic Gardens. It's another nice place for you to visit. You can also walk there. I do have a full walkthrough video of that. Again, you can also look for that on my YouTube channel. You can also hear all the birds in the background. This is the northern part of the Queen's Park Savannah, and I am heading west towards Maraval. At this stage we're about 3/4, I would say, around. Maybe a little less. On the left there, that's the hollows. Again, I also have a video for that. A few of them as well. I even have a video for that bench on the left. So you see, at every step of the way, I try to create videos for specific things that can easily be bypassed. And I try to make it as detailed and informative as possible. You'll notice that my videos are not just ones of just throwing up the video after I record it and that's it, but I actually do try to put some gusto into it, in that, I put maps, I put a description, I put stuff to let you know you know, somebody took the time to edit this and put it up. That structure on the right is the Emperor Valley Zoo, which I call animal prison. I don't believe in zoos. I can understand the relevance of animal sanctuaries, and that is proper animal sanctuaries, not just putting animals in a cage. To me, an animal sanctuary needs to be large enough that you can have the animals run around, not just be caged up in small cages. Some of those animals are in very tight cages, and I can't see that as being a healthy thing. If any of you are empathetic, just consider yourself. How would you feel if you were in a 10 by 10 cage for the rest of your life and people just came to look at you? Believe you me, I have been on a time when I did go to things like that, zoos. I did eat meat. I did, keep animals in cages, like everything else, because you grew up being taught that this is normal and normal practice. But then there comes a time in life where you learn something, you become aware, and then you make a change. Sometimes you decide, well, what I was doing all the time is wrong, and you be man about it and you make that change. So I'm a vegan, in case you don't know, and I believe animals should be just as free as we are. We share this planet. This planet is not dominated by us. So as we bend around this angle here, this corner, huge corner, we're heading back south. I believe the road on your right is Marval Road. I can't remember. Because Marval Road actually extends here. But it's Queen's Park West. The Hollows is on the left. And you can see Stallmeyer's Castle on the right. We're actually passing Wildflower Park, which I have also other video for. And the noisy songs you're going to hear just now are the grass cutters, which I wish they would do a little bit better of thinking about safety. They have on their goggles, their clothes, their robes or whatever to protect them, but they see people come in and they don't stop. They just keep going on all that grass, stones, anything can hit you. They hit cars and whatnot, I don't understand it. Some Trinis can really piss me off sometimes, because it's like they don't consider anything but themselves. Even with the European workers, when they are cutting grass on the road, you always see the weed cutter, grass cutter with the machine, and two people with like a net standing to block whatever grass or stones or whatever from hitting anybody or cars or whatever. Or if they don't have that, there will be somebody as a lookout. So if they see somebody coming or a vehicle coming, they will call out to the grass cutter to stop. And that's the proper way to do it. You don't just keep cutting grass while people are passing. Something has to be wrong with you. Have you all experienced that? Let me know in the comments of my YouTube channel. And when you're commenting, please let me know what you're commenting about. I get lots of comments, but not all of them actually make it to public view, because lots of them are just, like how I mentioned that those weed cutters, somebody will just go off on that and make it some long political post about it. And I mean, I can't put that on this video. This video is not about politics or anything. I'm just talking about, you know, if you're cutting grass, watch yourself. Watch what you're doing. Don't be crazy and do things that can hurt other people. So, you know, make your comments, if you do comment, simple and effective, not going on tangents and, you know, focusing on you. This is not a personal attack on you if you happen to be cutting grass. I know not everybody's like that. There are people who are careful. Yeah, and as you saw there on the left, some people do use the Savannah if they take a run or whatever to take the shower or the bath right there at that public tap. Like, you know, I think that's the only visible, at least, public tap that I know of in the Savannah. These are coconut stores. People used to pull up carts and stuff here, pulled by a donkey or whatever. Now they have these metal structures, which to me, it started to look nice, but now they use them like storage units and they don't look that nice anymore. That big building on your right, that's QRC, Queenswell College, one of the really nice architectural designs to look at whenever you come to Trinidad. So what did you think about this fast walk today? It was a view of the Savannah in a way that you may not have seen. You get to also, besides the brief stop there and our slow down, you get to get an idea of what a fast walk around the Savannah is like. And you also got to hear me ramble on. Tell me what you think in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.